Purchase orders will be found off of your home ribbon under Purchases. Here, when you select Purchase Orders, you will see you can select by supplier or all suppliers. You have different types of purchase orders, whether it's for a work order, consignment, or inventory. And you do have a status, open or placed purchase orders and completed purchase orders, or you can select all. Reference number, you can search by reference number, and that reference number will be the actual work order number whenever you create a purchase order from a work order. And then here will be your purchase order number. So you can search by any box or combination of boxes. A real quick and easy way to pull them up would be to simply go up and hit reset in the top left corner. That will switch it to all suppliers. You hit search, and then it will give you a listing of all purchase orders that are open or placed. So here you can see I have various purchase orders, different purchase order numbers, and different types. So here I have purchase order from a work order, inventory, consignment, inventory, and a work order again. You'll have reference numbers. So here that's work order 502. Then the dollar amount total, the status, has it been completed, and when it was created. So purchase orders are going to come from different areas of your program. So for example, this one from the Ford dealer, this was actually created manually in the work order. So if I go over to my work orders, and we go open up 502 here, what I have done is I created a purchase order for this air filter housing. So I entered a description, a part number, a cost, then I went to source, and I created a purchase order here. So once it's created, it'll give you the purchase order number. You can open a purchase order from here, and you can receive in the purchase order or receive directly from here. The purchase order for this air filter was actually created by looking it up in my catalog, bringing it back, and then going to purchases and placing the order. Once I place the order, the system creates a purchase order. This one for consignment, what I did here was I went in, went to my setup, pulled up my inventory that's all on consignment, and I created the PO. I can do it here or through the utilities. So here I would pick the items that I want, and then let's just go pull a few items here so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to hit search. Oops, sorry, I'm going to have to go in and get something here. Let's go look for some filters. So when I do this, I can just simply open the line and create a PO. So that's a manual PO off of a individual item. And then once I create it, I can add more items to it. The other way you could do this is through an inventory reorder sheet. So here you can do a reorder list by supplier, for example. Once you select that, then what you can do is you can create the PO here. And there's a completely separate video on inventory reorder that you might want to watch. That is in the inventory section. One more way you can do this is off of the utilities, online purchase. So online purchase allows you to select a vehicle. Let's just say we're going to pull a vehicle here. You can search parts by vendor. So here I'm going to search by O'Reilly. And then you can actually place the order without having to create a work order or have it in inventory. So these are items that I don't stock in inventory. You'll notice here I don't have anything in inventory. It's all ordering from the store. And I do not have a work order for this, so I can place an order here. And again, there is a separate video underneath the utilities section on how to do this. So what happens is once the order is placed and you have a PO, I can come in here and process the PO. Now at this point here, you're going to see at the top of the screen different features. I can save, I can tell the system I have placed the order. So this would be an occasion where maybe I pick up the phone and call and order it. So once I do that, I can mark it as placed so the system will know. You can print, email, print preview. You can export to Excel. Sometimes people export a long inventory list to Excel, email it to a vendor. You can export out for Michelin or Yokohama. This is strictly for these two tire manufacturers. Now you notice the view, delete, receive, and document are all grayed out. That's simply because it is still an open purchase order. At any point in time, whether it's open or placed, I can highlight an item. I can do a view. I can change my quantity. I can change my description, part number, supplier, and I can even move it to a different purchase order. You can also change cost. So as long as it's open PO, you can do that. If I decide I don't want something, I can simply delete the purchase order. Typically, what's going to happen is once you place the order, you're going to mark it as placed. That will change the status over here to placed. Then when the part arrives, I can either A, go directly to the work order and receive it, or B, I can come here, open the item up, enter the supplier invoice number, whatever that is, and receive. So I don't even have to go to the work order to do this. And now that's considered completed. This one here for K&M Tire, here I looked up a couple of tires and I placed the order through the utilities, through the online order. So when I open this up, what you're going to see here is a little red exclamation mark on the left side. So what that means is I cannot receive this in. I did order this to put it into inventory, but I do not have this particular part number in my inventory. So in order to receive it into inventory, I have to have an inventory card. That is what resolve references are for. So when I click that, what the system will do is I can say, okay, here I have an item that is not in inventory. I click on create missing. Where do I want to place it in my inventory? I'm going to put under tires and wheels. I hit OK. And I hit OK one more time. And now I have an inventory item. So once they show up, I click it, put in my invoice number, whatever it is, and receive. That goes directly to inventory. You can also place orders for consignment or standard inventory items that you own. It actually is going to work the same either way. So if I have a big inventory list. Now again, if I go down the list, I have not placed this yet. I can still change it up. But let's say I order it as it is. I mark as placed. So that is a placed order. Open it back up when the parts arrive. Now I'm going to check it off against the actual stock order. Now at this point, I can still also right click. I can do a view. I can change the quantity. Can I? Nope. Can I change the cost? No. Can I change the vendor? See, I can't change anything here. But I can decide here to return something with something on back order. I can say, well, I may have ordered two, but I only received one. And one is going to be on back order. did my cost change? So you can update your cost here. So maybe it went up a little bit. I hit tab on the keyboard. So that what that does is that keeps this list accurate. Now bear in mind when you're doing an inventory reorder, this does not include any taxes or shipping. It does not include any shop supply items that you may have ordered on this same receipt. So what happens is once you receive this, then you'll be able to go to the supplier invoices and add any shop supply or shop expense items. If you're Canadian, it will automatically add the taxes to it. So you won't even have to worry about that. You can always double check that. And you can add a shipping or a freight charge if you need to. So real simple, once you have everything set, you can just simply go in and just say, I want to receive it all. If only some of these items showed up, I can select just a few items and I can hit receive selected. Now again, I would still have to put a invoice number here. So if I put an invoice number and I have these highlighted, I can receive selected. Now that leaves waiting for the rest of the items to show up. Sometimes you're going to have occasions where maybe you want to change, what you're ordering, or maybe put it to a different vendor or something like that. So if that's the case, you can always move it back to open. Open it back up, and then you can highlight an item, view it, and here you can change quantity, cost, vendor, and purchase order. So if I had multiple purchase orders for this vendor, I can move it from one to another. If I change vendors, it will automatically create a different PO. If I decide I don't want something, I can just simply right click on it and delete it, change my mind. So if I go mark as placed, when I'm ready, I would open it up, put my supplier invoice. You see I retained my same supplier invoice, and receive. If it's changed, go ahead and change it. This one is the last one. This has come from a work order. This was placed online. So that's telling me that I went into a work order, looked up the part, and ordered it online from the work order. Now again, once this part shows up, all I simply have to do is open, verify my invoice. What did I get? How many did I get? What was my cost? And then receive. So as you can see, there's a lot of different places that purchase orders will come from. You can manage and you can receive directly from this area without having to go to the work orders or even into inventory.